It takes a strong individual knowing that they have cancer to stand their ground against social norms and be able to navigate through a new process to regain their health. Today, we will hear in her own words from Pam Cook, who is that strong individual.
My name is Pam Cook. So the first time that I came to see you, actually it was the second time because I did have a challenge before that. Someone had mentioned to come and thought, what do I got to lose? So I had a mammogram done, and of course I had to go back and get a biopsy done, which they found that I had some cancer in my right breast. So right away, after I had that done, my daughter actually the same day, I was with her and she said, Mom, you got to call DK. She said, call and get an appointment. I know she'll get you right in. And you did. You got me in right away. And I just had my mind made up then. I was going to do it natural because I was seeing too many people go through this. They're sick, they're doing the chemo. Actually, my husband had cancer years ago, and I watched him go through the chemo and be sick, and it didn't get him anywhere at all. I actually came in to see you. You gave me some recommendations, how to eat. I had to change my diet. I had just do things different than what I had done before. I didn't miss any work over it. I felt very confident about it. Never gave up. I had another appointment with the doctor to go back to see him because he wanted to know what I wanted to do. And it was kind of odd because he came into the office because I had to go back for him to check my biopsy that was done. Had me put on a gown, and I was sitting there, and what upset me the most was whenever he came in, he never even looked at where I had the biopsy surgery done. He just drew these little circles on a paper, and he said, okay, here's your three choices. And he said, you can have mastectomy done. He said, you can have a lumpectomy done, or you can do nothing. And I said, I choose to do nothing. And he jumped up, threw his pen down on the thing, and said, I knew that's what you were going to say, and walked out of the office. And my daughter and I sat there for like 15, 20 minutes waiting for him to come back in because he never checked me. And after about 20 minutes, my daughter said, look, I have to get back to work. And I said, I'm leaving. I said, so I got dressed. And whenever I walked out, he was in the hallway with a group of nurses discussing me because I wouldn't have anything done. So that upset me right there. Probably shouldn't even say this, but I just feel like all they want to do is cut you and you're just another number. You're an account number to them. So a week later, I had a phone call from the head of the office, and she said, I know you decided not to do anything, but I thought maybe I could call and offer you, we're going to have some classes at the hospital. And she said, we're going to teach you how to eat healthy and how to live your life. And I said, well, why didn't the doctor offer me this? And she said, well, this would be after he does the surgery on you. And I said, no. Why can't you just teach people that so that they don't have to go through the surgery and everything? And she said, well, this would be after the surgery, then this would be included in your healing process. And I said, no, I won't do it. I said, I'm going to do it my way. And I said, eat the right foods. I said, I know what to eat. I know how to do it. And I said, that's what I want to do.
So how long have you been dealing with this process?
Since 2014, for 6 years now. And
It's quite an accomplishment.
It is. It is. I feel that it is. And like I said, it's not like I had to miss work over it. I work full time and I have other things I do on the side. So it's not like I was sick and had to be down and be in a hospital, or it was just, anybody can do it. You just have to make your mind up that you're going to do it, and you can't sit and fret about it. You just can't do that. You just got to live your life, go on and do it, and it works. It just works.
What would you say to avoid? What would be your number one choice?
Sugars. You have to give up sugars, because I know sugars help feed the cancer. You need to drink plenty of water and eat lots of greens. I wasn't a big meat eater to begin with, but I did like my hamburgers and hot dogs. Hot dogs is definitely a no-no to get out of your diet. That's a good thing to get out of your diet. Beef, and I'm not saying I don't have a burger once in a while itself, and I've learned to cook so much for myself now. And now it's being summer with the fresh veggies and the organic things. Zucchinis, I think I live off of zucchinis, and whether you like them or not, there's so much you can do with them. And zucchinis and the squash. Raw vegetables are actually better for you, like I do with the cauliflower and broccoli. And there again, spinach, I use that a lot raw. And in the summertime with the fresh fruits, with the blueberries, the peaches, strawberries.
You're making me hungry.
I know, but it all works out. It just all works out. It's just, you just got to make your mind up to do it and do it. And don't be afraid to do it.
A wonderful testimonial to you. We had a client come in and tell us that you actually encouraged her while sitting in a waiting room.
Yes, I remember that.
And it changed her life. And she did it naturally as well. And I don't think the two of you have ever had the opportunity to get together after that.
No. And I'll be honest with you, I did. I was at an appointment to get a mammogram done, and I went into this doctor's office and just happened to sit down beside her, and we're just there talking, and she said, I have a big decision to make today. And I said, oh, what's that? And she said, I have to let my doctor know about doing surgery on my breast. And she said, I don't want to get it done. She said, I think she said she just got engaged. And I said, don't do it. And she just kind of looked at me and she said, well, I said, don't do it. I said, listen, I have cancer right now. And I said, I actually go to a lady. I said, she's actually a doctor. I said, in Chambersburg. She said, well, I think she was from Mechanicsburg, but I won't say for sure. And I said, look, it's not that far, but do not make the decision today to your doctor. Please just call her. I'll give you her number. So I gave her your number, and from that point on, I never knew whether she had called or, what had happened. But I just kept begging her, I think, to please just call. Just go see her, then make up your mind. But you don't have to let the doctor know today, Tell him that you'll get back to him. And I said, do it natural. You'll be so glad that you did. And then you had found out from you that she had done that. I was so glad.
And she wrote a testimonial, and she said that she was cancer-free. And actually in the United States, 6 out of every 10 breast cancer diagnoses, there is no medical treatment required.
I can believe that. I can believe that. I feel that doctors put the scare into you. I know when they first called me back and said that I had to come back in for a biopsy, it scared me. I was afraid, don't get me wrong. But when I was and then my daughter, when I got out of the appointment, when I met up with her, and she said, Mom, you call DK. You call her right away. She said, call her right now and get in there to see her. Go to her first. And I said, I am. That's what I want to do. So.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to see you still sitting here.
Me too.
And healthy.
Me too.
And you can see how vibrant you are and still working.
Still working, and I'll be 70 next month. So I feel great. I do.
Great.
I do.
And you are an inspiration to many people, because everyone that knows your story knows that it does take commitment.
It does. Yes, it does. You do have to. And like I said, just change the way you're eating, and it's not hard, honestly. When you figure, this could be a life or death situation, what do I want to do? And like I said, I seen my husband go through it. When we found out he had cancer, he lived for 3 years. I had even taken him out of the country to see doctors. But unfortunately, it just didn't work for him, But they basically, honestly, when we did go to see those doctors, they do the same thing. I mean, it's how you eat. It's how, what you put into your body. That's what they basically do with you down there whenever you do go. And we spent a lot of money to go to do that. We spent over 20 grand, and it had to be paid up front. And it was scary because we didn't know we were going into another country. Didn't know, okay, is this a hoax? Is this going to work? But we did it because, it was a life and death thing for my husband, and we wanted to do this, and he wanted to do it. So we took the money and we did it. But it was just too late in his cancer stage of it to help him, because he had a very rare type of cancer, and it was just, but he wanted to do it, and I didn't care. The money didn't mean anything. I wanted to do it for him, so we did. But I wished I would have knew about you at the time, because that's where we would have been,
Thank you. Thank you.
I praise you so much. I talk to everybody about you, and you have a great book out, the Synthetic Children.
Thank you.
That's just great, and I got my girlfriend at work onto that book now. She has a family, and there are a lot of boys, and they're big eaters, and she's always telling me, I did sausage last night, and I did this last night and everything, and she said, I don't even feel like eating it. She said, I don't feel right, but I just eat a little bit of it now. So now I have her eating healthier, and she said, I feel so much better. I really feel better. So it's great when I can convince somebody to do that, It's
It's changing lives.
Yeah,
one
it
at a
is.
time.
It is, and I enjoy doing it. I mean, I don't have a problem talking about you and what you do. I don't have a problem at all about that, because it's just so natural.
So you're eating to live instead
Eating.
of living to
Yes,
eat.
exactly. And there's some weeks I feel like, I'm eating the same thing over and over again, but it's so good. You know what I'm saying? Which I always thought, if you ate fish, you want farm-raised fish, because that was more controlled. But I've learned to eat the wild caught, which my son goes fishing and catches tuna and stuff, so he keeps me in tuna and his fish that he catches, so it's great. It's just
wonderful.
great, yeah.
So what is your absolute favorite meal?
I make the mock crab cakes out of zucchini with the Old Bay seasoning and stuff. Make them probably twice a week.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. That and the cauliflower pizza that I make using cauliflower. And it's so easy, so simple. I got it down to a science. What I do is I take a complete head of cauliflower, and you slice it down, and I take a baking tray, put parchment paper on it. I take olive oil and brush that over it, Anyhow, I sprinkle some red salt and I put that in the oven, usually around 350, 375, and I wait till it just starts browning a little bit around the edges. Then I pull that out. I put my pizza sauce over it. I brush it on with a brush. I use like fresh tomatoes, spinach, leaves, and I actually put a little bit of olive oil on those on a separate plate. Sprinkle just a small amount of cheese over it. Put it in the oven and bake it. It's delicious.
Sounds delicious.
It is. It is. You have to try it. It's very good. It's very good. But that's probably one of my, between that and my zucchini cakes. I love those. I love that. And sweet potatoes. I do the sweet potato medallions. There's just so many little things that you wouldn't think of before, but you just find little things. And I'm always looking at these healthy food cookbooks just to see what else, I can do.
Well, thank you for always doing that. And I just wanted to add that it's one thing to give people recommendations on how to change their life, but you are a testament of your own hard work and dedication for following those recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all you. This is your success, and your health is 100% you.
And I feel good. I do. I feel good. And I have a son and a daughter, and they'd like me to retire. And, people at work are always saying, you've been here 37 years now. You need to, when are you leaving? I don't have any plans on leaving. I'm sorry, but I don't. I like to work, so
Wonderful.
I like doing it.
Well, your version of almost 70 is like the new 50.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, thank you very much.
You're quite
for
welcome.
joining us and telling your story. It's a great story to share.
No, I want to thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here telling this story. So I want to thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
The content of this video contains the author's opinions, observations, thoughts, conclusions, and serves as informational and educational material purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice, medical diagnosis, or medical treatment. The author is not prescribing medical treatment nor attempting to negate current medical treatment. Should viewers choose to follow any of the author's recommendations without the supervision of a medical doctor, they are doing so at their own risk. Should viewers decide to implement any of this information in the video, they are solely responsible for any outcome. The statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products mentioned in the video are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.